Hello there and welcome to Puzzle Organizing Projects. My name is Diana. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't done so, and let's talk about student life. So students, I know you've just moved into your dorms or you're about to, and you are so lost because you've just left home and you're like, oh my god, what do I do? Like, it's really cool. You're like, oh, you know, I'm an adult now, and you get there and you're like, ah. I know, we've all gone through the same shit, so you don't have to tell me anything. I know. I mean, my experience was a long time ago, almost 10 years, no, more than 10 years actually. Oh my god, I'm so old. So more than 10 years ago, but I still remember it. So obviously at that age, 17, 18, you're like, oh, you know, I'm so cool, I don't need my parents for anything. And then the reality hits you. So what I want to bring you today is some organization tips for your dorm or your hall or your flat or wherever you are. And these are ways that you can organize your room, or if you have a flat, the whole flat, or whatever you want, but specifically more your room. So the way I used to do it is when I was on my own, and afterwards when I was in a shared flat with my friends, I had my own room obviously. And what I used to do was I bought a few boxes, cardboard boxes. You can use, if you don't want to buy anything fancy, you can use just shoe boxes. You can go to a shoe shop, for example, and just ask them if they have any spare shoe boxes. I know this sounds a bit weird, but I've done it before for projects at school and stuff like that, and at least in Spain it's fine. So yeah, do that, and then you can DIY them. We'll put some nice paper around there, wrapping paper or whatever, and then you can use those to organize your stuff. So for example, what would you put in that cardboard box if you don't want to buy it? Or you can go also to Ikea, for example, and get some of these really cool collapsible boxes. I'm all about collapsible boxes because especially when you're a student and you're not sure to whether after a student you're just gonna stay in that city, or you're gonna move somewhere else, or you don't know what's happening. So what I would do is just get as many things collapsible as possible. So if you can get everything collapsible, the whole flat collapsible, perfect. So yeah, things in Ikea, we'll put some things around my head over here of some boxes and stuff that I know are collapsible. So you can have a look if you have an Ikea around you. And yeah, so things you put in a box. For example, you could put things like personal hygiene, I don't know, deodorants and stuff like that. If you have a shelf or a shelving unit would be perfect. But if you have a wardrobe or something that has some shelves, you can just put them all there, or in the bathroom or anything like that. But if you're sharing, it's a bit more complicated. So maybe in your room, just look for a spot. And yeah, so one for personal hygiene and stuff like that. Then first aid kind of box. So say you're poorly, what things do you use to make you feel better? I don't know, paracetamol or ibuprofen, or I don't know, whatever you have, and things like that. Just have it all organized and make sure that you can just if you have to move out of the flat or whatever, change flats or whatever, it's easy to move. So you don't want to get lots of things that then you have to get from one place to the other. And my experience is that every year I was moving from one place to the other, so I learned to use things that you could just put one thing inside of the other, or organize it in a way that you didn't have to really take loads more things. So you don't want the things that are helping you organize to then be a burden, having to take them here and there. So you either want something that you can just chuck in the bin or give away or whatever, or something collapsible like the Ikea things I've said before and I've mentioned before. So yeah, that's one of my biggest tips. But also I wouldn't bother, at least in the first year, if you can avoid it, to buy loads of plates, mugs, cups, pans and stuff like that, just because In my experience, again, like that was my personal experience, but the first year I went to study, I was living in a dorm, but then the next year we went to a flat. So then in that flat, because it was a student flat, they had already all sorts of things. So it came in like cups and plates and pans and everything. So then what happened, that I had brought with me already to the dorm all these things, and my 2 flatmates the same. So we ended up with a million things like a toaster and stuff like that. Like, to be fair, I didn't buy any of that or brought any of that with me. I had like a couple of pans and that's it. Because to be fair, you will always find someone that has those things if you're really desperate to have them. But it doesn't make any sense to go to a different city and have a million things, and you know, you have to carry them, or like pay a business to like rent you a van or all this jazz. So as a sum up of all this is that if you're gonna share a flat straight away, then try and talk to your flatmates first, because you might want to like buy things together rather than bring them all by yourself, because then you might find yourself with 5 toasters and things like that you really don't want. So I hope you've liked the video. I hope I've given you some light and yeah, if you've liked the video, please subscribe, and if you have any more ideas or anything like that, please leave a comment down there. And I don't know, did you have a good experience as a student? Do you have any tips that can help anyone? Yeah, please let me know, because even though I'm not a student anymore, I might be interested as well. So thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. Bye!